some noise if you believe in magic. Yeah! Magic is real, right? So when I first started speaking, my mentor told me that if I just keep speaking, just keep sharing my stories, then magic will start showing up in my life. Now, I didn't understand what he meant at that time, but as I continued to speak, little interesting things did start to show up in my life. And one of those things was Ryan. So Ryan and I, we met through Toastmasters. Anyone here doesn't know Toastmasters? So most of you know what Toastmasters is, right? So I joined Toastmasters a year before Ryan did. But as a newcomer, Ryan she was fierce. So she immediately started sharing her life stories at Toastmasters. And I remember when I heard her stories, I just thought, oh, this girl is so cool. I want to be her friend. But I am a very shy person. Whether you believe it or not, I'm very shy, okay? And I'm an introvert. So it's really hard for me to initiate conversations and ask people to go hang out with me. And so it took me several months to finally come up with some excuse, some reason to invite Ryan to have dinner with me. It was really just like having a first day, okay? He was just so excited, I was so nervous. And then so finally, Ryan and I, we have dinner. By the way, she doesn't know this story. She's never heard of it, so yeah. Authentic responses there. So she's sitting in front of me, and because we're both artists and we both are small business owners, so we started talking about an art business, and I asked her, have you ever sold anything on Etsy? And the reason I asked her that was because I was selling on Etsy full-time for over 10 years, and I just want to share this money-making opportunity with her. So Ryan tells me, yeah, I sold on Etsy. And then she tells me what her Etsy ID was. And when I heard that, like my jaw just drops to the floor, because never in a million years would I have imagined this adorable speaker, Ryan, in front of me is the same Etsy seller that I once adored and worshipped back in 2007 when I first started selling my jewelry on Etsy. So everybody here today probably already, you probably all know what Etsy is, right? But that was not the case back in 2007 when Etsy was still a very, very young, new website. But Ryan, she was one of the very few sellers who were able to turn her Etsy shop into a full-time business. So she was like our role model, you know, like our idols. She was like our celebrity. That was the definition of celebrity in 2007. That was Ryan. So I really literally just worshipped her. So now I'm like, I'm like so starstruck because I am sitting in front of my idol and I just don't know what to say. And I tell her that, you know, like when I first started my Etsy shop at that time, I was living in Indianapolis and I was living by myself. I was going through a divorce and I just hated my life. I hated myself. I didn't know what the future held and I was just so unhappy. But then there's this girl, this Etsy shop. This Etsy seller called Ryan. That's not her Etsy shop ID, but anyway, this Ryan girl, I just really admired you so much, and then you are like a beacon of hope for me. Like I just want your life. Like I just imagine Ryan having like this best life ever. Like she has everything I want. Like she is smart, she is successful, she's probably very pretty, and I had a perfect family, right? So that's what I tell her, and then she's like. When she hears that, she's like, you have no idea what was happening in my life at that time. So it turned out, Ryan's life was not what I imagined. Because when I was going through my heartache at that time, Ryan was also going through her heartbreak. Basically, we are having the same kind of miserable lives at the same time. But we didn't know each other. And then, so fast forward to 2024. By then, I had moved from Indianapolis to South Carolina, and then all across the country to this very far place called Portland, Oregon, where Ryan resides. And I have also, over the years, I have also built a very successful Etsy shop. I was selling full-time on Etsy for over 10 years before I switched lanes to speaking. And then I joined Toastmasters, and then I met Ryan, right? So now I want you to imagine like this rom-com, this incredible moment of like, oh my God, Ryan, you have no idea how much you mean to me. And then she's like, oh, Molly, you have no idea how much you mean. And she's like, oh, I learned so much from you as a speaker. Like, I just adore you as a speaker. Like, your self-loathing is so relatable. So it was like just so magical when it's like, when I thought, she's so cool, why would she want to be my friend? And it turns out she thinks I'm pretty cool too, you know? So that's the life's magic. Like when you feel so broken, so unlovable, like when you feel like nobody loves you, what you don't know is somewhere, sometime in your life, somewhere in this world, maybe sometime in the future, your new bestie is waiting for you. You just haven't met them yet. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're just perfectly fine. Someone appreciates you fully. They see your lovability so much more than you can see it yourself. And they're like your mirror. Perhaps you just have not found them yet. How do you find them, you ask? Share a story at Campfire. Storytelling, yes, it does. It does bring magic into your life. So today, the story I just shared, that was just one of the stories. So thank you. Right?
Molly!
Yeah.
I feel like we should slow run towards each other. My jaw dropped at the same moment too, because she recognized my business name, and I have been recognized in the past. I used to tell a lot of people what they should do with their lives, because that was how I was dealing with the fact that I didn't know what to do with mine.
Yeah.
But it was really extraordinary, and when I joined Toastmasters, I was floored. Molly's an incredible speaker, don't you think? She just gave me so much hope and inspiration, and I connected to her immediately. And when she said I wanted to be your friend, I was like, sign me up. Does anybody have any questions for either one of us? Adam.
I don't know if Molly said it, but what was the name of your Etsy store?
It was called Little Put Books. It is.
Does anyone know her?
Oh my God, it's you?
Yes, me! Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I wrote a blog about how to sell on Etsy, which is how I kind of got known for selling on Etsy. Any other questions? All right, well, you know what? I think if you guys are done writing your feedback. Oh, David.
Well, I guess I would ask, what made each of you want to join Toastmasters?
We both suffer from severe stage fright. So I am one of the luckier ones that when I'm nervous, I sound very confident. But I'm still nervous, yeah.
I hide under my hat, so yeah. I really wanted to get into storytelling. I've listened to podcasts. How many of you guys know the Moth podcast?
Yeah.
Right? And then how about Risk? Has anybody heard of that one? Please check that out. It's an extraordinary storytelling podcast. Campfire Tales is going to have its own storytelling podcast.
Yay.
Yes, we're working on that. There's a lot of, this is the beginning of the huge puzzle that we're putting together here. And holy shit, you guys, thank you